My name is Lauren Parsons. I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives and Communications at Bluegrass Community Foundation. And I am the lucky team member here who runs the Good Giving Challenge. So today I will just be going over sort of like the basics about the Good Giving Challenge, the basics of registration. We'll have more webinars in the fall that talk about like strategy and how to promote and how to get your board on involved and all that. But today is just the basics about the Good Giving Challenge itself. But first, I want to back up a little bit and talk a little bit about Bluegrass Community Foundation. Our mission is to build vibrant, generous, equitable, and engaged communities in Central and Appalachia, Kentucky. And we steward over $200 million in charitable assets across 700 charitable funds. Some of the nonprofits that participate in the Good Giving Challenge have funds here, but not all do. It's not a requirement. Last year, we awarded over $16 million in grants to nonprofits in Central and Appalachia, Kentucky, and really across the country. So we got started doing the Good Giving Challenge. This will be our 12th year, and we partner with Smiley Pete Publishing on the Good Giving Challenge. And why we do it is because it's just an easy way to get the community to give back. It makes giving easy and fun. It really creates a really nice community spirit. And it's just a fun event to get more people giving. Last year, the total raised was 2.9 million. We've raised over 17 million for local nonprofits since the first year in 2011. And of course, it launches annually on Giving Tuesday. Just some details about last year's Good Giving Challenge totals. Again, the total raise was just over 2.9 million. I was so sad. My goal was 3 million, and we just needed one more donation of 100,000, right, to get us over the finish line. But every year, it has sort of exceeded our expectations about how generous the community can be and how much they give. So it's always really exciting. The average raise per nonprofit was just over 16,000. The average gift size was $160, and the total in matches and prizes that we had available was over $700,000. And the fun stat about the Good Giving Challenge is that a third of donors who gave last year were giving to a new nonprofit for the first time. So it's really a great way to get new donors involved and for people to be giving for the first time to your organization. It's a really great way to be exposed to new donors out there. Some details about this year's Good Giving Challenge. So every year we are constantly, after the challenge is over, we're looking back at data, trying to gauge how well it went. We're always doing sort of a debrief afterwards. And we have switched some things up from year to year. When the challenge first started, some of these organizations, some have been in it all 12 years or almost all 12 years if they join again this year. And, it used to be, I want to say, almost 2 months long. It was a really long window of giving. Nonprofits got fatigued, donors got fatigued. It was just too long. So every year we're trying to figure out what is that sweet spot. It went from 2 months to 6 weeks to 4 weeks. For the last few years, it has been a week. This year we have honed in, we're trying something new. We're starting on Giving Tuesday, November 29th at 9 a.m. And the challenge will run through Friday, December 2nd at 9 p.m. And why we're thinking that is a lot of the giving really slows down over the weekend. We would have a match available first thing Saturday morning, but then after that, we found, the giving really slowed on Sunday, especially. And then it was really hard to get donors re-engaged back in on Monday. So we're starting Tuesday, November 29th. We'll kick off again with our Philanthro Party press conference pep rally downtown at Tandy Park, Fifth Third Pavilion. Last year it was so fun. Santa Claus came, there was a horse and everything. It was a great fun. And then on Friday, December 2nd, we're going to be ending with a wrap party at West 6th Brewing here in Lexington. So yeah, it'll be really fun. We're looking forward to celebrating with everyone on that Friday evening. Registration will be open from June 2nd. And this year we are keeping the registration period open later. We opened it a little bit earlier. We're keeping it open a little bit later through September 30th. The only thing required to register is you need to be a 501c3. You need to pay a $500 fee. You can pay that either online through the portal, or you can send in a check. Or if you have a fund at BGCF, you can do a fund transfer. You can request that. Just let me know. My email is lauren@bgcf.org. And you have to have a GuideStar Gold Seal of Approval. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. Regarding the $500 fee, some people have questions about what that covers. We're really proud of the fact that that $500 fee has remained unchanged in 12 years. It started out at $500 and it still is. We use that $500 fee to cover marketing promotion. We have the print guide. We're branching out into billboards this year. We do a lot of digital advertising that covers the promotion of the Good Giving Challenge. Bluegrass Community Foundation does not profit off the Good Giving Challenge anyway. We are also a nonprofit organization. Everything we get in to cover the cost of the Good Giving Challenge, we put back into the Good Giving Challenge. So sometimes, we might have a surprise, pop-up match opportunity that'll come up, like a power hour. Sometimes we'll do that if we find we have just a little bit more money to give back. So all of that money goes back into the challenge. And the registration process, all of this, the Good Giving Challenge website is at bggives.org. It's not on bgcf.org, which is our main website. It's all on bggives.org. There are materials about the GuideStar Gold Seal and how to get that. They are also on our website. I will link them on bggives.org as well. If you Google how to get your gold seal, GuideStar has really great resources that will walk you through the process like step by step. Pretty much you just need to log in, claim your account if you haven't already, and update some information like who's on your board of directors, what are your organization's missions. You have to upload some either an audit or some other financial information. And why we require this is it's really a transparency opportunity for our donors. We do ensure all of our donors during the Good Giving Challenge that they are giving to a nonprofit organization, that their donations are tax-free. And so this is how we help vet the organizations and make sure that we're all still holding ourselves out to be completely charitable. And it's a good tool for you all to be familiar with as well. The Good Giving Challenge is open to these counties here in our service area. And so then how does the Good Giving Challenge work? All the donations that come into the Good Giving Challenge to count towards your fundraising totals, to count towards matching dollars, they have to come in through the site at bggives.org. They have to be made online. Donors can give either using a credit card or ACH transfer, but they do have to come in through the website. They can't be made with a paper check. They can do an electronic check, that's ACH. But if you get a paper check from a donor, you really need to encourage them to make that gift online themselves. The benefit is these donors will get an immediate tax receipt by email. And the nice thing is they can go on the site even now at bggives.org and request past giving receipts too. That's always right there. The minimum donation amount is only $10. So this is just how we make giving accessible to everyone. There is no maximum donation. I joked about $100,000 donation earlier in the webinar. We really did have one come through last year. So there is no maximum. And all of the gifts, like I said previously, they're 100% tax deductible. So that is why we require that GuideStar Gold Seal of Approval and or Gold Seal of Transparency. And that really does mean like during the challenge, it can't be like, sometimes a World Wildlife Foundation or whatever, the group with the panda image on their logo. they might say, if you give at this level, you get a free tote bag. Like, you really can't say that to your donors. If you give, you can get a sticker or you can get a shirt or whatever. The gifts really do have to follow those IRS tax deductible guidelines. No quid pro quo, anything like that. You can send thank you notes, but no gifts in exchange for a donation. The fees this year for the challenge, this is a little bit different from years previous. The fee is now the same for ACH and credit debit gifts. This is the Stripe transaction fee, at least on the credit and debit side. That is just the Stripe fee. Again, we do not profit off any of this. Last year, I think ACH was a little bit lower, but then it turns out we were ending up, you have to pay $1 fee on top of that anyway. And it came out to be the same at the end of the day. So we're making it easier for everyone to understand this year. 5.2% fee across the board on all donations made through the site. Again, that's just a transaction fee. And if you give to any organization online, chances are you are paying this fee. You may just not know it. The good news is most donors, the vast majority of donors, cover that fee. So that's nice. I mean, if you're giving $100, what's another $5? It's really not a big deal. Most donors do it. If you have a donor who's giving using their donor advised fund at BGCF, there is no fee on those gifts. The donation will say Bluegrass Community Foundation on their bank statement, on their credit card statement. So sometimes they get confused about that. But the gift is to us, and then we will send the checks to you. You will get those checks by mid-January. And the reason for that is the GoodGiving Challenge will close December 2nd this year. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for credit card transactions and bank transfers to be finalized. You would not believe it, but sometimes donors contest a charge. They may not have sufficient funds. So we have to wait for all of those transactions to be finalized before we can start calculating match dollars to know which donations are eligible to receive match dollars. So we calculate all that up. We will send you a letter that has each match challenge amount along with your check, and that will be by mid-January. We try to get it done as soon as possible, but we're working against the calendar. That is the end of the year. That is a very busy time for BGCF with a lot of year-end giving and also just holiday closures and things. So there's a lot that goes into that, but you will get your check by mid-January. And just some of the benefits of participating, why your organization would do this. First of all, it's very easy. The online giving platform is super easy. It's a great way to get your board of advisors involved, your biggest fans, your staff members. It's with that P2P, the peer-to-peer fundraising tools. I'll show you how to do that too. They can create fundraiser pages and share their giving link out. It's a really easy way to get everyone on your team engaged. The other benefit is support. There is the platform bggives.org. Neon One provides support for that. So if you have an issue or your donor has an issue, they can't remember their password, whatever, they will be able to assist them with that. Last year, we also did bi-weekly Zoom meetings. I did with just any nonprofit who could get on that day, and we would chat about different issues, share ideas. It was really fun. It was a great way to get to know some of the nonprofit organizations even better. I really enjoyed them. So I think we'll do that again this year. We'll also have lots of training opportunities, webinars, toolkits on fundraising best practices, different strategies. We've done social media training in the past, some specialized training. I think we'll do that again this year. I even learned a lot during those sessions. So I think those are really beneficial. And that's just like a value add thing that we like to provide to you. And the promotion. So everyone in the community knows that the GoodGiving Challenge is going on. They'll want to give to your organization. We'll promote it we have a pretty robust marketing campaign. I'm really excited about it this year. Print, TV, radio, digital, and more. I like to say, we'll promote the challenge. You just need to promote yourselves. And then finally, the best part about participating in the Good Giving Challenge is all the matches and prizes that can amplify the power of your donors' gifts. Some matches can be 50 cents on the dollar, some are even dollar for dollar, just depending what's going on. We don't have those matches finalized yet. That'll be later in the summer or early fall when we'll have those ready for you. But that is a really, really exciting part of the challenge, and that's what makes it really fun. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll have at least 700,000 again this year. And these are just some slides that Neon One, the platform host, provided to us for step-by-step instructions on the registration process. I will share these slides with you all so you don't have to write all this down. It is super straightforward. You'll go to bggives.org, and as you can see in the upper right corner of that screen, you'll click on login, and you will log in as a nonprofit. You can see there that you'll have 3 different options for logging in: a donor, a fundraiser, or a nonprofit. A fundraiser is somebody on your team, your board members, or whatever, they're logging in to look at their fundraising pages. That's what that fundraiser login is. But you'll log in as a nonprofit, and then it will walk you through the steps if you're applying as a new organization or if you're logging in as a returning organization. If you cannot remember your password, your login information, you can just request a new password right there. We do not have access to your passwords. This is all through Neon One, so you'll need to reach out to Neon One. There will be a blue support button. Go back, sort of in the lower right-hand corner here that says support, and you can click on that, and that will send an email to Neon One support, and they will help you get that reset. So if you're a new organization, there is sort of an extra step at the beginning. You will click apply as a new organization, and you'll submit an eligibility form. So that kicks out to us, and we will just look at that. We have, I think we're doing either weekly or biweekly reviews of all those. And so we will let you know pretty soon after you submit that if you're eligible to participate. We're just checking, are you in our counties, in our service area? We're checking, are you a 501c3? Do you have a fiscal sponsorship? Do you have that gold seal? We're just looking at all that information. So then after you submit your eligibility form and we review it, if it's approved, you'll get an additional email to create your password and get your profile set up. Then you'll be able to log in and submit your registration for approval. So there will be that extra step. You'll have to, after you're eligible, you have to submit your registration for approval. And then I think at that point, you will pay your registration fee, that $500 fee. You can pay it through the site using credit card, or you can click you will be sending a check into us. So you won't get that final approval from us until we receive that check. But you will get that. Just let us, it would also be helpful maybe if you just let us know that you'll be sending in a check too. Because then I can tell our finance team, hey, keep an eye out for fill in the blank organization's registration check. If you're a returning organization, it is super easy. You log in and click register my organization. It's right up here to get started. Then it will pre-populate all of the information you had in there from last year. So that's really, really easy. Just review all that, make sure it's correct, and then submit it for approval. It's really super simple. It just walks you through everything. And I will say, as you're registering, even if you're a new organization or a returning organization, you will have the ability to update your profiles on bggives.org up until the challenge starts. So up until November 28th or November 29th at 8 a.m. We'll send you lots of reminders, but you can make changes to your profile up until that time. So don't worry about trying to get everything done just to get registered. I mean, we still have a few months, but you can tweak it. You can take a look at it. You can kind of look and see what other organizations are even doing. You can add photos, videos, all that stuff later. You don't have to do it all right at the beginning. There's also some other tools you can use. There's a tool where you can set some event goals. You can see overall event goals. Like if you want to say you want to raise $20,000, you would put that there. or number of donations. All of this will be public on your page during the event. So keep that in mind. It's really, I don't know that there's a net positive or a negative. Just keep that in mind. That will be visible. You don't have to set these goals. I will point out that there is a section that says early giving donation goals. We do not do early giving. That's where people can go in and schedule giving in advance. We don't do that. We like to keep it live action. So we don't allow giving until November 29th at 9 a.m. on that Giving Tuesday. Then also, these are really important for the actual giving event. These sections over here, and I will kind of show you this. We'll do a little demo. But on this section over here, you can set donation levels. You can add, this is like how you'll create your public facing profile for your organization. You can add photos, videos, and update your users. So this will go through a little bit of that information. So donation levels is, I think, a really great tool. If you can quantify what a certain donation amount can accomplish for your organization. I think the examples here are buying school supplies for one child, $10. I've seen, you could supply diapers for a month for, a kid in your program or something. I point this out because it might push a donor to that next level of giving. If they see, I was going to give 50, but if I give 100, it can accomplish this. And these amounts will pre-populate during checkout. And I guess it's hard to show because it's the giving day functionality of the site is not up yet. But giving during the Good Giving Challenge is basically like online shopping. You just add your donations to your shopping cart and then you check out all at once. So donors can give to one organization or as many organizations as they want. Some go in and just make their gifts to like 10 different organizations at once and then they're done. But they check out all at once and then they get one tax receipt. So that's really handy for them. This is really important, adding photos, videos. When you add a photo, it's really simple. You just upload the photo to the site. And then when you add a video, all you do is you add the URL to the video, like on your YouTube or Vimeo account. But the caveat is, and it notes it here, those videos must be public on the account. They can't be a private video. But then it just pulls that video in for viewing on your profile page. And then when you're logged into your profile, you'll be able to see all of those peer-to-peer fundraisers that I mentioned there. And the nice thing too about the Good Giving Challenge is you will have access to all of your donor information, and you will be able to pull that. If you're an organization who has participated before, you could even go in now and pull all that information out of there. You can export it into a spreadsheet. And you can play around with some of the filters, but you will have all that donor information, names, email addresses, addresses, all of that good stuff. The only time you wouldn't see that is if a donor chooses to give anonymously, and then that information will be redacted. But this is a great way to help build your mailing list. You'll want to make sure if you've participated before, I will say, go ahead and pull those email addresses in as you're registering. Pull those email addresses out, and go ahead and add them if you haven't already to your Constant Contact or MailChimp list. Go ahead and add them to your mailing list. And then this is a really important step too, to really make sure as you're looking at the section called My Users, make sure your these are like the people on your staff or your board who have access to look at all this information. You really want to make sure that these people are the people you want to be receiving notifications. You don't want somebody in there who, left your organization like 5 years ago, or if you have new users, you need to add them in. Because we will, once registration closes, we will pull all of these users out to create our mailing list for our training webinars, for all the toolkits, all that good stuff. So if there's somebody in your organization who you want to be receiving that information, please add them. We'll also create like a MailChimp landing page to add those email addresses in, but it's just really easier if they're in the system, and we can track them that way. So that's how we build our list. It's based on what you give us. So please make sure, like if you have an executive director, you're a marketing person, your advancement team, please make sure that they're in here so that they can get our communications. Then there is this nice section, this was new last year, a resource center that is built into the BGGive site. There are some articles and other guides provided by Neon One, but we will also upload all of our toolkits here. So we'll have like social media templates, we'll have a board member engagement toolkit, we'll have, your profile checklists, lots of handy things. We have like the GoodGiving Challenge logos available for you to download there too. So we'll share them in our emails as well, but they're just always here for you to be able to refer to. Oh, and I've already mentioned this, that blue support button will be in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And that will be available, that's already up. You can use it now as you're having issues with support. Issues with registration. You'll be able to use it during the giving event. It will be live on Giving Tuesday, but otherwise it's like it sends an email to the support team. So they'll be able to help you with any technological issues we have. We're not going to have technological issues. Now I'll just show you just quickly a quick demo of the site. Well, that didn't work. There we go. All right, so here, I'm going to log in as a nonprofit. So this is what, well, I guess I lied. I don't see the support button up there. It should be up there. I will check on that today. So I'm logging in as a nonprofit, and you can see here, it will really just walk you through these steps. Register for the challenge. Are you logging in as a returning organization, or are you applying as a new organization? So it will walk you through the steps of like making sure you don't already have a profile set up. Sometimes people will recreate a new profile for an organization that already has a profile, and that can be really confusing. So this tries to eliminate that step. I'm going to log in as a returning organization. So even here, it's trying to make sure that you're not duplicating your efforts from previous years. So the Lexington Black Prosperity Initiative at BGCF, they have participated in the past. I created that profile for them, so I'm going to register for this organization. You can see here, it is just pre-populating all of that information that I had submitted in the past. It's just super easy. You can review it. Okay, we have our board members here. Keywords. This is something really nice. You can add this will help on the searching. Donors, can search for like causes that are important to them, animals, education, whatever. And if you have these words either in your bio or in the keyword section, you will be pulled up. So we do have the terms and conditions here. They are linked here. These are all the rules. I'm not going to go through them now. You can pull them up on the site. I think they're also in the resources toolkit. And I will add that one thing we're going to do this year is after you submit your registration, I will be following up with a DocuSign agreement that you will also need to sign externally there, not just on the BGGive site during registration. We'll also have a separate webinar to go over the rules and regulations of the GoodGiving Challenge that will be presented by Haley Cunningham, our general counsel. But you can read those terms and conditions there. So you'll save all your progress. It's going to ask me to, okay, signed it, save. So you can save your progress, but then you need to make sure that you click that register my organization. So I will be able to see if you have logged in and you've started editing your profile, but you have not submitted your registration. You will be able to see this too, filling out profile. So I can go in right now and I can see all the organizations that have logged in, that have initiated the registration process, but have not clicked submit my registration. And you will kind of be in limbo until you do that. So you'll be able to log in. If you started the process and you log in and you see filling out profile here, you know that you're not done. Up here, you can see, fundraisers. Let's see, expired. Yeah, you can see previous fundraisers. And the thing you can do too, it's nice now. I thought you could just copy them here, but I guess you can only see, maybe it's because it never went live. There is a separate peer-to-peer fundraising tool set of instructions, a slide deck, and the instructions are up on the BG Gives website. If you go to support or FAQs, what is that? The fundraiser FAQs, it's right there. I will also add, what I'll do is I'll add the PDF of the rules to this about an FAQ section right there. So you can have those handy. So yeah, this walks you through how to help your biggest fans create a fundraiser page. And those are really, really great. And those will show up on your profile page too during the challenge. This is where you can see previous donations. This is the section that I mentioned about users. I'm still on the other page. This is where you'll want to make sure all of the people listed are who you want to receive email communications. And it's really easy for you to add them. Just click on add a new user, put in their name and email address, and then they'll get a confirmation and can set up their account. Resource Center, I mentioned that. That's where all of the toolkits live. I think last year's are still up, or did I? Some of them might still be up. Just, don't quote any of those dates or anything, because those are last year's dates. We'll update these soon and get new ones up. And so then again, going back to the My Public Profile section, there's just a couple things on here I want to go over. The donation levels, this is what I referenced there. Previously, adding a donation level, like we could say $200 summer camp sponsorship or something. It's just that easy. So just think about, brainstorm different donation levels that you might want to encourage to give, or even putting a descriptor, like if you're going to be asking people for like a $20 donation, just go ahead and explain like what that can accomplish for you. Multimedia, this is where you add those pictures. You really just upload, I think that's the limit on the size, but you can find really decently sized photos there, and they look really great. I don't know if I can preview. I don't think I can preview the profile yet because we're not fully registered, but adding videos and photos here is really easy, and it makes your profile look really good. You don't need to worry about the documents section. That's like if you were adding like a 990 or something, but you don't need to do that because you'll already have been vetted through the gold, the GuideStar gold seal transparency. And then again, the contacts, that's kind of the same as, well, no, contacts is public facing, I guess. The users is who you want to receive communications from us, and who will get like notifications of donations and all that. So I think this is sort of the basic outline of how this looks on the back end. Does anybody have questions? You can like raise your hand. You could drop it in the chat. Anything specific. that you see about any of the things that I shared. I got a question coming in. That's a great question for keywords. How to separate terms or phrases. That's a good question. Let's go see. Go to edit. Did it say? I'm assuming it might be a comma. I will check on that with Neon One, because we don't, they built the site for us and other organizations. So I will just confirm that with Neon One. That's a great question. And I will share that answer with you. Yes, the question was when we will get this presentation. Yes, I will share the slides with you, and I will upload the webinar to the recording up to our YouTube channel. So yes, that will probably be tomorrow when that will happen. People are asking, somebody asked if a Gmail is okay. Yes. If anybody has questions about, if you have specific questions about GuideStar, some of the resources are up on our website. I think it's like bgcf.org/good-giving-challenge. I believe that's it. You could probably Google it and get there, but I linked on that page and I think it was in the email that went out, but it includes, there's a PDF from GuideStar that has the step-by-step instructions. There's also a webinar that they've shared and uploaded to their YouTube channel that includes those step-by-step instructions of how to get your gold seal. There's also a staff member here, Barbara Fisher, our Director of Nonprofit Services. Some of you may know her already. She is very knowledgeable about GuideStar and how to navigate that process, and she can provide assistance to you if you need it as well. So I guess in conclusion, I'll leave it open just for another minute to get some more questions. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, registration will be open through September 30th. So you have all summer to work on this, to get your GuideStar Gold Seal, to get all your registration steps done. If you have questions, my email address is lauren@bgcf.org. You can reach out to me at any time with questions about how to navigate this process, how it works. I'll send all the information to you that I can to help you through it. I love the Good Giving Challenge. It is my favorite thing that I get to do at Bluegrass Community Foundation. I absolutely love it. I love talking about it. I love getting organizations excited about it too. So I'm happy to help in any way that I can. So feel free to reach out at any time. And anyway, I appreciate you all for tuning in today. I know we're all really busy. So I appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will hopefully be talking with all of you again soon as we navigate the registration and learn how to make 2022's Good Giving Challenge the best yet. Thanks.